Hey guys, and welcome back. It's a little chilly, so I'm over by the heater tonight, so it's a different camera view. I decided to do a bonus What's the Formula because I just got done building this one and decided to. I was really proud of it. I just wanted to get this one kind of out there. I know I was talking to some people and whatnot, and getting more and more of these new What's the Formula videos out there since my older stuff kind of flopped. And someone was like, "What's your end goal here?" It's like, well, my end goal is simple. If I can get enough followers, and maybe, I guess the ultimate goal would be to be invited to the Mattel figure reveal thing. Obviously, not this WrestleMania because that's never going to probably happen, but maybe once, give them some ideas. Maybe I've been a member of the Wrestling Fig board for years. I've talked to Action Figure Tech. He's actually liked some of my ideas in the past. And definitely answered some of my questions. He seems to be ignoring a lot of my questions nowadays, but that's okay. Just been a wrestling figure fan collector since I was 8 years old, so it's been a life, long thing basically. The person I'm talking about today is I didn't build this one, so I can't take credit for this one, but it does involve this person. So let's start with this one first. Now it's clear they used a Brock Lesnar torso and legs and acetoned off the tattoo. They probably used, from the looks of it, they used his Walmart Best of Ruthless Aggression version, because I don't see any shininess where his chest tat would be. So I've seen people make him with the tights on, with the face paint. I decided to go with the different look. I wanted the solo run of him, and I was very happy with how it turned out. So the Warlord. Now, this, of course, is solo run. So when I saw people were, doing on eBay, they were building Powers of Pain in their tag team gear. Of course, Mattel did not give us a Barbarian. Jax gave us a Barbarian. And for the longest, they gave us two Barbarians. They gave us the Powers of Pain Barbarian. They gave us the single run Barbarian with the barbaric look. Now, this is not 100% accurate. This is kind of a fantasy look. Obviously, they didn't make, even the Jax didn't make like his chest, or not his chest, but his belt piece thing. It was literally just brown trunks with some boot tassels. So I decided to build one. Skin tone matched pretty well using this person's torso. It is a little bit off if you look really up close. Farther away, you couldn't tell. If you follow on wrestling, or not wrestling videos, but if you follow like on the Facebook custom creator board, or even on Instagram, you might see from time to time some of my stuff pop up. But here is my version of Barbarian. Now, I thought about maybe getting brown knee pads. I used the Hulk Hogan, so I got a Hulk Hogan body from his, not his, they're re-releasing it, but I got one from a fodder lot, if you will. And so it didn't have the head, it had the legs, it had the torso, everything else, just no head. So instead of, just getting a Hogan and whatnot, I decided to test it out. I remember someone saying like that. Now, of course, he doesn't come with these kind of legs. These legs were actually from the Ultimate Warrior, and they matched really well. First, originally, he had tights on and he had the blue lightning. I was thinking, okay, I could probably just paint over that or leave it as is, because you can't see. It still says Hollywood back here, but with this new piece right here, I covered over it. You can't see Hollywood anywhere, and it doesn't come off. It's saying it's pretty. I didn't glue it, but it's very well put on there. The way to put this on there, I had to put it in hot water, let it soak for a little while, and then really carefully, without tearing it, put it over there. And this is the cod piece. I'm going to call it the cod piece from the best of our greatest hits line, Scorpion King Rock. So it works really well. The boots are from the Berserker. I did have a Berserker. I bought another one because they weren't that expensive. Took the boots off of him. Was even going to take the legs originally, or the boots at least, off, and then I realized I can just use the Hogan legs. So I left the Hogan legs on there. And then what I did is, there still is the blue lightning in front. I actually took and painted that away, and then I Mod Podged over it so that way it doesn't chip away and you don't see any blue anywhere. He still has the ultimate toe articulation. And then, of course, I took the Rock's armband things and added them, as well as little tassels for the heck of it, because he looks more barbaric and barbarian looking like this. Originally, he just had the white hand with white wrist tape and whatnot. And then when the Rock figure came, I was like, you know what? Let's strip him of all his gear. So now I have the pants with no codpiece Rock in the fodder bin somewhere. So, very happy with it. I guess the only thing, I mean, if I really wanted to, I could try to match up the paint and paint the face. But again, can you really see the difference? I mean, up close, you can definitely see it. But far away, I couldn't see the difference. Could you? So, I have the Powers of Pain in their solo run. And basically, if I remember correctly, Warlord was a little taller than Barbarian. Barbarian, of course, would go on to WCW to team with Ming and be the Faces of Fear. Which, hey, if Mattel drops those out, I might, this might just be a thing that goes up onto Makari, and I might just get him and redo it. But for now, this is the closest I'm going to get to a Barbarian Mattel figure, and it meshed really well. The head's not too big because the Hogan body really fills it in. It's not wobbly. It's not like my Jake and Jesse Gemini, where the heads are a little too big for the torso, which... If they do make I don't really want to use a Brock Lesnar torso because those are a little more expensive, but I'm thinking about I may have to do that. This one obviously, of course, was cut. What was nice about this one is it didn't require any torso or any X-Acto knife, any torso swap at all. All it did require was using ball joints, which they were on ball joints, popping the legs off from the Warrior, popping the legs off from this one, switching them out. It gives them a much more bulkier look to him. And it just is perfect. I mean, like I said, there's no cracks on it. Whereas even this one, even though the torso was split, you can't really see. I mean, they did a really good job on this one. But I don't take credit for this one because I didn't build this one. If this one wasn't available to me, I probably would have eventually built him in my own way. I got this one before I started building my own. When I first started doing this, I started buying customs left and right, and I realized this is going to get really expensive real fast, so I need to start doing my own. Make no mistake, if I didn't start learning how to build my own, I wouldn't have nearly the 200 now plus I have in my collection. And some people, of course, are asking me why I'm doing this when they're not, you're making cruiserweights bigger than they should be, it doesn't mesh well, they don't look right. I'm a sucker for trying to keep the same style of body, I guess. I've always just been that way. Like you couldn't find me using a Hasbro figure with the jacks later on. I never went back and bought those LJNs or like that. I tend to do that. And if it works, it works. And I like to, stand out a little bit. I mean, I'm one of the people who owns a prototype Hideo Itami figure. But then I went and turned, not him, I went and made an ultimate version of him because I didn't want to mess with that one. I didn't want that one breaking. I didn't want that one getting warped out. So now I have an Hideo Itami ultimate out there. And I'll continue to build ultimates, and, obviously I'll find, some. I have some ideas of building some, but I'm not the greatest on painting or decals. I'm learning how. I'm looking into decals because I do want to make FBI, Nunzio Chuck, and Johnny Stamboli. I have the formula down to build just the characters minus Chuck Palumbo's head because he didn't have that kind of head yet. And I don't want to use the bandana one. I don't want to use the Chuck and Billy looking one. So I'm going to have to definitely go and find a customizer for that. And get that head painted and then, sent off to me or send the figure off to have it, applied to it, however they do it. So I'm trying to do that. Of course, the decals, I want to say FBI on Nunzio and Johnny and Chuck. So hopefully I can, after I get some other stuff paid off and I get the rest of my lineup that I've already got in progress waiting for the parts to arrive, I'll start branching out to that. Tajiri's another one. Maven, Marcus Corvon are other ones. Muhammad Hassan's a big want as well, but I still haven't found. I'm thinking I might be able to use I kind of used, if I remember correctly, for Jinder Mahal, I used the Muhammad Ali torso. Maybe I can use that, but of course it would require it to be sent off to the painter, which at that point I can't take 100% credit, and I would never take 100% credit for that. Because even though I come with these formulas, sometimes I need help, and that's okay. I can't do everything. I don't have the skills for all of it, but if I can help people build their own, I'm more than willing to share the formulas. So, formula for him. Hogan body. Start with the Hogan torso especially. Get your Ultimate 15 Warrior. Take the legs off. Put them on this Hogan. You can switch them. They're ball joints. Heat them up. I prefer using hot water to soak them in hot water for maybe 30 seconds after you set it for 5 minutes on the thing. They pop off carefully. Don't just try to yank it off. Twist and lightly pull. Eventually you'll see it pop off. Switch the legs. Then let it dry a little bit. Let it harden a little bit. Berserker. You can find one on eBay. They're pretty much, I'm going to probably make an Ultimate Berserker pretty soon because he's not super hard to do. I already have a regular one. I just need to get the right torso for it, which will be an Austin torso. Throw the shirt over. Keep the knee pads from the Hogan, or just find some black knee pads from one of your other figures. So you got the boots, you got the boot tassel, you got the whole little thing here. Get yourself a Greatest Hits Rock figure. He was like maybe $20. Throw on the armband, throw on the little bicep ropes, throw on this piece, heat them up. Heat this up. It's because you have to make sure, heat this up, take the legs back off. So either take the legs and keep them off beforehand or after, whatever you got to do, take them off. That way you can just put it onto the piece, and then basically you move this up a little bit and you connect it back at the ball joints, and you got yourself. And of course, Jack's Barbarian head. Now this is going to be spendy. Either you find a customizer and you get a decent deal on one that probably would be scaled better to Mattel, or you want authentic, Jack's Barbarian. He can run you. He can run you, especially a mock one. He can run you up to upwards of hundreds, $100 to $200. Loose, you might be able to get lucky and find one for $60 to $100 in that area. So if you really want a Barbarian, either you go the other route and you find someone who's a great customizer, or you throw the head on from a Jack specific. So if you're writing these formulas down and create your own, this can be a pretty pricey figure. 20 for the Berserker. Warrior's gonna cost you probably 20. The Hogan with it being re-released, probably can get it for $30. But the problem with the re-release is they've made him more hot dog color than this. So you want the original, that's gonna run you 40 to 50, $60. The Rock, like I said, $20 there. The head from Jack's, super expensive. So, but if you want to put one together, it looks great. And again, no glue needed, no worry about cracking, no sounds, no stuck glue. This thing is perfectly, he can pick up easily and slam down. So I don't have my ring set up right now, that's I would. But maybe these guys will be drafted into the Ultimate World War III Battle Royal coming up. I'm going to be doing that at random. I'm going to be, if you watch the FigFed News, the roster reveal for the lineup will be posted, and then the next week the results for who won that will be posted. If not, I might draw it out a little bit longer too. But anyway, let me know in your comments below who you'd like to see next, or if you think I already have the person, what formula did I use. I will gladly, if I see people wanting, a certain person, I will, and if I have it, I will do it next. Otherwise, it's going to be completely random. But there are the powers of pain in their solo run attires. The best you can get from What's the Formula.